My veins are blue, my nuts are white, and the blood pumping through my body is red. God damn it. UFC Freedom 250 was the best event I have watched in a long time. I'm not going to say it was the best card, but in terms of just a spectacle, a one-off, this was in fucking sane and provided everything I thought it was going to and more. I didn't think it was going to be this good of a card. I have never been more proud to be a fucking American, bro. Oh my God, this was phenomenal. Regardless, I'm going to go through and give everybody some superlatives. If they're good, it's an award. What do you call a bad superlative? Can someone leave that in the comments for me? I really don't know. But regardless, the first one is positive. We're giving my boy Diego Lopez the Flash Award, the Chin Merchant Award, whatever you want to call it. The fight was tense, quick. I felt like both of these guys were made out of Damascus blades. I mean, they truly just wanted to harm each other, but you could tell the tension in that octagon was crazy. The first big shot that landed was from Steve Garcia. And just out of habit, out of muscle memory, my body went to like shoot up, stand up. I literally couldn't even get up before Steve Garcia was put on the ground. He landed a nice looping shot, and I'm like, this is it. This is where it blows up. The very next punch, Diego Lopez sends, it's kind of like a right loop, almost into a straight. Flatline Steve Garcia. I mean, you could see, like, hard reset in his brain. He ate that fucking shot. Follows it up, 2 vicious ground and pound straights. Takes his time. I mean, dude, Diego, he ate a hard shot. You have to go back and watch it. I promise you, you're not going to see a ton of clips of it. You can slow it down. Steve Garcia landed a missile on the chin of Lopez and went to follow it up with that second strike. He couldn't even get the second strike off before Diego ate it, reacted, and countered, and landed. Steve Garcia was on the ground in between strikes 1 and 2. Diego Lopez's combination of speed, agility, chin, and heart, aura, toughness, whatever you want to call it, the ability to trade in that pocket is unmatched by Diego Lopez. Genuinely, I don't know what you do with this guy other than give him the Volk rematch. He beats everyone else at featherweight. Brian Ortega sucks. Yair Rodriguez will not be able to strike with this guy. He'll throw out a couple kicks, couple of 360s, and then he's just going to get dogged. Maybe feed him Gene Silva again. But I need to see Gene Silva beat somebody other than Arnold Allen. I feel like Diego Lopez is stuck in the issue of he's going to rematch somebody, whether it's Gene Silva for a number 1 contender spot or whether it's Volk for the belt again, and then he gets stuck. This is going to be the only guy to lose 3 title fights to the same guy, and he actually earned every single one of those shots. There's no one else at featherweight that I'd rather see fighting for the belt. Because there's no one else at featherweight that's going to beat Diego Lopez, not named Alexander Volkanovski. Regardless, the Flash KO Award, the Mr. Flash Award, the Chin Merchant Award, give them all to Diego Lopez. I absolutely loved this performance. Next up, man, I feel bad for my boy Dawkins. They took his name away. You see this? It's just Bo Nickel versus nobody. I wonder if that means he got fired, bro, or if they cut him. I really hope that's not the case, because if you brought him back just to have him get slimed out on the White House lawn, you're a bitch. But unfortunately, I am too, because this superlative is not for Bo Nickel. The Sacrificial Lamb Award goes to my boy Kyle Dawkins. He's always been somebody I like. Those guys in the UFC who are just there. They're not there to win a chip. They're not there to be the top 5 ranked guy. But he's like a downgrade of like Neil Magny, bro. He's just not even a gatekeeper. He's just a name. He's a human dude. I can relate to Kyle Dawkins. Like, I was glad they even just put a regular schmegular guy on there. Like, he's in the UFC. He's going to slime out everybody that is a civilian. But let's be real. He didn't have any place on this card. We needed somebody to get sacrificed just in case the rest of this card was not a banger. We got lucky. Everything on here was a banger. But be real with me, twin. We both know there was a chance that this whole card was a flop. We got lucky it didn't, but I am still going to give the whole Sacrificial Lamb reward to my boy Kyle Dawkins. Because imagine if we get like 3 decisions, 1 no contest, and an eye poke, and then this is the only fight. There's no situation, there's no world in which Bo Nickel comes out here and does not win this fight. This is the situation most people saw. He just killed the guy. If it had been like a round 2 grappling TKO, whatever, at least we got a finish. But Bo Nickel getting a dominant finish here doesn't warrant any kind of award for me. You were supposed to finish this. You were supposed to knock this guy out. You were supposed to go shake Donald Trump's hand because you are the UFC implant. Like, I'm not a Bo Nickel hater. I just want to point out that this guy's getting the whole like Sugar Sean treatment, but he's not as good, and it just really pisses me off. So I don't want to give Bo Nickel any kind of award for doing something he was supposed to already do at an event he was supposed to be at. You know? Shout out, bro, for winning, but you just did your job. That's what you were supposed to be there for. So the real shout out is for Kyle Dawkins for being willing to take that paycheck, and you're never going to be able to live this down. For the rest of your life, people are going to be like, oh, you're the guy that got knocked out on the White House lawn in 3 minutes. Yeah, I am, but I also got paid like $300,000 to do it. So shout out Kyle Dawkins, bro. We needed the sacrificial lamb. Freedom 250 was all about America, so I've got to give Mauricio Rufy the Axis Powers Award. You shout out all the way back to World War II, man. Michael Chandler holding it down on home turf. This one didn't go like the history books. The Axis Powers pulled this one out. Mauricio Rufy and all them dirty Italians. I'm just kidding. I love Italians. Venice is my favorite place in the world. Regardless, I wanted to see Michael Chandler pull some red, white, and blue out of his ass. Didn't happen. Didn't think it was going to happen. I don't think anyone really who watches the sport thought Michael Chandler was going to win this fight. But man, he looked bad. I mean, he threw a couple of jabs out there that were like powerful, but he's just exploding. He's not even trying to place anything. All the shots he took looked half-ass. Like, I don't think this fight was rigged, but if there was a rigged fight, it'd have been this one, because what the fuck were those takedown attempts? Used to, or normally, Michael Chandler will spear someone in half. Like Dustin Poirier, he pistol squatted him and then slammed him on the canvas. What do you mean you're attempting a single leg trip from the clinch? That's not Michael Chandler. I think he's washed. I think he's mentally out of it. I think physically he used to dominate guys, and now that he's 43, 42, he just can't do that. Shout out Chandler for just being durable, though, because, oh my God, that body hook, that like looping body uppercut that Rufy put on Chandler, wow. I thought that was going to break every rib on his right side. I will just be real. Shout out Mike for staying up, but like, what did this teach us? We didn't learn anything. We already knew Mauricio Rufy was the younger, better camped, more disciplined guy. Like, he's training with the greatest featherweight of all time. So I could take a random shot in the dark and say that an undisciplined muscle mommy, Michael Chandler, isn't going to beat him. Especially when Rufy gets on the ground, everyone's like, oh, he sucks at grappling. He's got a couple submissions. Like, he's not a great wrestler. He's not great off his back. But he can shoot a submission to get him out of a position that he doesn't like being in. He didn't even have to. Michael Chandler might honestly get the Chud Award for tonight. Like, I just don't understand what the game plan was. I don't understand where the mentality was. I don't think Chandler was ready for this fight, which is weird because this guy is obviously a hard worker. We know Chandler goes through hard training camps, but I mean, just look at the stats. He didn't land anything. Strikes, takedowns, even aura farming. No clips, bro. I mean, there's nothing positive for Chandler from this. He got beat up in front of the president. There's no real matchups for him out there. Like, what are we going to do? Feed Michael Chandler to Rafael Fiziev? No, he's going to get knocked out. What are we going to do? Send him back up top to fight Oliveira and Gaethje and Topuria? No! Clearly no. I mean, maybe let him fight Topuria. Topuria is going to need a warm-up or two before we can't give Ilya a rematch for the belt. Legacy-wise, yes, he absolutely deserves it. But after this performance, hell no. We've got a reward. Charles Oliveira has won 3 fights since their last one. So give me Charles versus Gaethje for undisputed, and then give me Arman versus Ilya with Patty as the backup. That's what I'm seeing. Regardless, shout out Chandler for getting in there, but This is World War III, and Mauricio Rufy and the Axis powers took this one, all right? You want to talk about America? My boy Josh Hokett wins the Freedom of Speech Award. Not only did he yell at Derek Lewis mid-fight, not only did he put him in an armbar just to absolutely clown him in front of thousands of people on his homeland, he grabbed the microphone, exclaimed to the former president of the United States that his wife is a tranny. Oh my God. I don't know if we're going to fine him, fire him, make him fight Francis Ngannou. Josh Hokett is either going to have the biggest media pop of his life for the next year straight, or the UFC is going to severely punish him. They're going to have him like go get Blitzkrieg knocked out. They'll have him gauntlet Francis Ngannou, Cyril Gane, and fucking Poseidon for all I know. Killer performance. I feel like everyone expected that. Same thing as the Rufy fight. Anyone who watches MMA and genuinely told you Derek Lewis was going to win this fight, they don't know anything, or they were clowning you. Those are the only two legitimate options. But I didn't expect him to look as bad as he did. He didn't throw anything in the first round. He just watched Hokett beat him up until the last 45 seconds or minute, whenever Hokett got that takedown. That ground and pound looked mean, bro. He landed one big elbow, one big right hand that dribbled Derek's head straight off the canvas. And Derek is literally strong enough, man enough, big enough to just stand up. When he tried to, he did. He stood up. I mean, Josh took him down immediately again right after. But if Derek is going to play into the whole, our jiu-jitsu's not real, just get up, fucking do it. You can't just lay down on your back for the last 2.5 minutes of the round and let Hokett beat you up. Lay on you for 1.5 minutes and then beat you up for a minute. And then, all right, round 2 starts. We can restart now. That's not how this shit works. You're losing this fight every second you're on your back. And there's just... we can't teach Derek anything at this point. He's got the most knockouts in UFC history. He's got the most losses by KO or TKO in UFC history. Can we just give him like a super, super duper layup? Give him like modern day James Vick and just call it? Like, I don't want to see Derek just quit. I'd like to see him nice, rounded out, get that 30th win, and then call it. But if I'm going to have to watch something like, give me Derek Lewis versus Tai Tuivasa right now. Winner has to retire. Loser forced to retire. They're both gone regardless. But the winner gets to walk off into sunset, and the loser's like, you're never allowed to compete again because what the fuck is wrong with you? I think that's the only possible option here. Shout out both of these guys. If you don't like Josh Hokett, you clearly never watched wrestling as a kid. Freedom of Speech Award. That's some real American shit. I'm going to keep this one real sweet and simple. Cyril Gane wins the Méchant Award. That's how you say villain in French. I had to look it up just for this because, let me tell you, nobody likes this guy. There's no Pereira fans that watched this fight and went, wow, that Gane guy's really skilled. Let me be a fan now. They went, fuck, my GOAT just got his hopes and dreams shattered. No one's ever going to win 3 belts. That is what we learned tonight. Ilya apparently barely won the first. I know he's knocking everybody the fuck out, but we might have just figured him out. You just pressure him a little bit. I'm not going to say we figured out Ilya. Ilya is a mastermind, and I still can't really wrap my head around what we just watched Gaethje do. But this is kind of the same thing. Like, this just proves that triple belt theory. It's got to be impossible, bro. If Pereira can't do it against Gane for an interim, what the fuck makes us think that? I don't know, bro. I'm actually kind of lost right now. Ilya looked way smaller than Gaethje. Let me stay on this fight. I'll go to the next one. But Cyril Gane, nobody likes you. Nobody's glad you won. You weren't supposed to win on home turf. Alex is like an honorary American. And now we just have to watch the Tom Aspinall fight again. Credit to Gon, this is the first fight I've ever watched where he did not eye poke somebody. No joke, first one ever. Credit there. No one's happy that you won. Nobody's day was made. Bunch of days were ruined. You're the Mashant today, all right? I get the fuck off my screen. Netanyahu, if you're listening, thank you for this gracious gift to the American homeland that is Justin Gaethje. Benjamin Netanyahu, thank you. In all seriousness, bro, this was the most electrifying thing I've ever seen. I'm looking at the stats and I'm kind of curious why we didn't count Gaethje's knockdown. Because I know it was like Ilya just sort of slumped over and Gaethje put him in that front headlock. But that's what Gaethje does. As soon as he sees you slump, he's going for that front headlock and he's just trying to beat you the fuck up. There's no technique. There's no anything at that point. It's Darce choke you to the ground and then I'm going to find your face and give you 5 or 6 of them. And then when you cover it up, I'm going to switch hips. Oh, other side of your face, 5 or 6 of them. I mean, he just turned into a mauler. I would have liked to see that get scored as a knockdown. And even looking at this, if I were to just see this, I would tell you Ilya won this fight for sure. He got outstruck by 8, but he was incredibly efficient. And then he's the only one that landed a takedown, and he landed more significant strikes on a higher percentage, and it didn't fucking matter. Because Rufus spun his little hat, sipped his Capri Sun, and put that Spaniard on a shirt. I've never been more proud. Genuinely never been more proud. I was shaking on that couch, bro. I was shaking watching this fight because I don't remember if it was the 3rd or 4th minute, but it was the first round. Ilya landed a right straight, and it looked like Justin turned with it, like he let it go off his chin. No, he full-blown turned Justin's skull 180 degrees, and Gaethje was just like, oh. Yeah. All right, twin, you got it. You got it. And I can't even say I liked Justin's strategy. That, like, fake takedown, that little clinch initiation into the uppercut is cool, but it left him so open. I was really surprised to see Ilya spent those first 2.5 minutes doing the Piotr Jan style. He's trying to download information, see what was coming his way, see what he could counter. That's not going to work against Justin. Justin's not throwing a calculated attack at you. It's just car crash style. Even Khabib said it. He's like, this guy is talented, is skilled, and he just doesn't care. He just doesn't care. He's going to throw himself at you. He's going to fight you. I understand, like DC a couple weeks ago, he's like, yo, these dudes are just fighting. The Iwo Aslan and Ibo Erslan fight, whatever it was. These guys are just fighting. These guys are just fighting. That's literally what Gaethje does. I'm surprised that we didn't see any calf kicks. I'm surprised I didn't see any rolling thunders. But this dude would get pressed against the cage. Pressed against the cage with body hooks getting reamed at him. And his response is to throw a head kick. I fucking love this guy. I've always liked Gaethje, always been a fan, and always assumed that this is the type of shit that's going to keep him from winning the belt. When in reality, that's all that won him this belt. Chaos, car crash, making it ugly. Ilya could not counter anything because at no point did he know what was coming his way. And on the rare chance he did, on the occasion that he threw that strike, it did land. Gaethje just took it. It was insane. I promise you Gaethje's liver is busted up. His ribs are broke. Something like that for sure. Because Ilya was putting deadly intent on those fists to the body. All that to say, Gaethje got it done. Gaethje is now Mr. Captain America. I cannot believe this. This is the superlative, the award. Mr. Bonus himself just made history with I'd call it a comeback. I'd call it a comeback because after round 2, what the fuck do you mean Gaethje won that fight? I'd call it a comeback. I'd call it the greatest upset in American sports history. I'd call it the most iconic upset in mixed martial arts. I'd call this maybe the biggest upset in MMA history. I mean, this is some Chris Weidman, Anderson Silva stuff, but it happened on the White House lawn. Holy shit. Please do me a favor and send this video to your grandma so we get a couple extra views. Like, subscribe, comment. Who do you guys want to see next in these fights? If you want, I'll go ahead and do another video right after this one of who I want to see everybody fight next. This card was a banger, bro. Absolute banger. Every fight was a finish. Every fight had killer knockdowns. Every fight had crazy energy. Wow. Thank you, Dana. Thank you, Hunter. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, everybody at the UFC for making this happen. Shout out DJT. I'll catch y'all on the next one, boys. Peace.